Well, I plan to do a really nice little video for you guys driving through the Delaware Gap because the scenery is just stunning. But apparently, part of the thing about driving through the middle of nowhere is they have a horrible internet. So obviously, I made it a couple of minutes in, and then I got no signal and no video. So we're gonna do it again. Anyway, we're out of that Delaware Gap, and you can see they're doing construction, so the traffic is awful. This is fun. But this is a cool little town. This is Milford, Pennsylvania.
Turn right at the
old-fashioned Main Street kind of a place. It's kind of cool. I like it. I like driving through here because it's just a glimpse into what America used to be like before the mega malls and then Amazon took over. It's just a little bit of history, so that's cool. Anyway, back to the stories. We're talking about what NPR said, and I'm just going to start over from the beginning because who cares? So NPR, I'm listening to NPR this morning. I'm driving on a road trip. I'm 170 miles away from home this morning, and I get in the car bright and early, 5 o'clock, and there's nothing on the radio. So I just start scanning for new channels. Come on, go across the street, little lady. You can't see her on this camera, but there's a girl sipping a soda trying to go across the street. No one's letting her cross. There you go, honey, you cross. There you go. Small towns, gotta love them. So NPR. Listening to NPR on the radio, and they are talking about Barry Weiss. And I don't know if you know who Barry Weiss is. Barry Weiss was she's a bit conservative. She started Free Press. It's a conservative news site where they just give different opinions, and she's pretty good. She's been in lots of interviews. You can see her on CNN, and she's probably been on Timcast, and she's probably been on about Fox News and stuff like that. Anyway, there is a rumor, unconfirmed, that she may be the new head of CBS News, maybe the CBS News editor or CBS News channel in charge of that, program director or something. Unconfirmed. No one knows if this is going to actually happen or not. And NPR is freaking out. They're like, oh my God, the world is going to end. The reason why these people were losing their minds is that CBS News is one of the oldest, most cherished news sources in the country, maybe even the whole world. Yeah. Well, they're losing viewership because they only have one opinion. And they, if you're not, I hate Trump and MAGA is bad, they won't give you a platform to speak. I mean, very often. I mean, not frequently. So what happens is they have new ownership. I guess Ellison bought them, I think, and he says that he wants to change the direction that CBS is going and make them more fair, balanced, even, or maybe more conservative, because believe it or not, most of the country is more conservative now.
The speed limit is 25 miles per hour. Slow down.
NPR freaking out that Barry Weiss might be taking over, and they called her an ultra right-wing MAGA chud, whatever. Very hurtful, very mean, because she's conservative, and they can't have any conservative voices. They must be shut out. No one is allowed to hear them speak. Just ask Charlie Kirk. We'll get into that too. So they've got this thing in their head where they think because some conservative is allowed to talk, the whole world is going to end. And they were really freaking out. The tone of their voice and the panic in their voice, it seemed like they were having a meltdown, a panic attack, a crisis. And they probably are, because they're losing control. You know, what they did is they referenced this to CNN, saying, CNN a long time ago, they tried to go more conservative, and it hurt their ratings, and now no one watches them. And, well, their ratings are down. And there's an interesting reason behind that, it's my opinion, is that when CNN started, they fired Van Jones and Don Lemon and some other people. Cuomo, I think they fired. He was there too, right? Anyway, when they fired the ultra conservative, ultra liberal hosts, and they got a couple people that were a little more mid-range, a little more conservative, asked some questions, their viewership went down. And I think the reason why is because they have been fostering a you can't hear a different opinion kind of audience for a long time. And when they heard an opinion that they either weren't familiar with or have been told for 20 years that you can't listen to this opinion, they stopped listening to CNN. So that kind of makes sense. Now, conservatives will watch CNN and Fox and MSNBC, and they'll listen to other radio, and they'll do all kinds of things and get their news sources from a lot of places. So that didn't really affect CNN's ratings because they kind of stayed the same. But the left because they can't hear a different opinion. That's why I think CNN has started shedding all of their viewership. So they said, they used this as their case example, saying, well, the same thing's going to happen to CBS. CBS is going to lose all their viewers and no one's going to want to watch CBS because it's all MAGA, right-wing, extreme. No, I don't think so. I think their core audience of the left that has been trained to never hear another opinion is going to hear another opinion and they're going to freak out. Either that or most of the people that watch CBS News are well into their 70s and for lack of a kinder word, they're going to time out. They're going to reach their life expectancy, and that's the end of the ride. And new people, millennials and younger, Gen Z, Gen Alpha, they're not watching TV at all. I mean, they get their news from TikTok and on their phone, different apps, YouTube, whatever. So they're not going to put on the news. And no matter how much YouTube forces CBS News articles to the front page, most people just aren't going to watch them. Younger people just don't care, and that's fine. That's their prerogative. Do whatever you want. Do your TikTok dances and find out what new vape flavors are cool. I don't know what kids do. I have no idea. Anyway, so that's what the problem is. That's what NPR is freaking out about, that they were going to get Barry Weiss, who's going to maybe take over CBS and change the direction and make it more mainstream. And it hurts them. It hurts them because they know they're losing. So that's all they can do is scream about it. They can't adjust their argument to get more viewers or to convince people, no, we're right. See, here's the truth. Here's the whole article instead of a 3-second snippet. Here's what he really meant. And let's talk about how this is blah, blah, blah. All right? They can't do it. They just can't because they're on the wrong side of history, which I hate that term, but most people understand what it means. That's why I said it. Another thing that NPR, after they got off of that, they were talking about Trump's tariffs. Oh boy, do they hate tariffs. NPR hates the tariffs. Tariffs are the worst thing ever. Okay, let's talk about the tariffs. Now, they had a guy, it was a group of people, and one of them was an exceptionally bright guy. And he was asking questions and doing follow-up and presenting a different case and doing it in a very professional, polite, soft way where they kind of had to answer his questions because he was being nice, being very polite. And they couldn't just say, well, you're just being mean and they can't answer. He was being nice, which is a key tactic to dealing with these people. So they said tariffs are bad. Apparently Trump is doing emergency economic tariffs on, I think it's Canada, but it doesn't really matter. I think it's Canada. Okay. And they were mad because Trump does not have the right to do tariffs. That's Congress's job. And although monetary policy is Congress's job, I do agree with that. Trump said it was an emergency and this was going to be something that he had to do right away. That's also Trump's prerogative. He can do that. So let's say, just for the sake of argument, I don't know about the number, let's say it was a 50% tariff on Canadian goods. And I'm not sure it's 50% and I'm not sure it's Canada, but it doesn't matter. They don't want any tariffs at all because Trump is not allowed to do tariffs. So apparently someone is forcing this to the Supreme Court, but the Supreme Court will make a ruling if Trump is allowed to do tariffs or not under this emergency act, presidential act, some kind of a signature thing, whatever. And the panel on NPR said that Trump is never allowed to do tariffs. Tariffs are illegal and it's immoral and it's going to ruin the economy and it's the worst thing ever. No tariffs. Tariffs bad, Trump bad, Orange Man bad was basically what they said. Summary. The other guy said, why are they bad? Well, they're just bad. It's the tax. Okay, they couldn't come up with a really good argument of why tariffs are bad. There are reasons why tariffs can be bad. They couldn't think of them. So the Supreme Court eventually will decide if these tariffs can be enacted and carried out, or if Trump has to come up with another plan to do these tariffs, a workaround or whatever. And then they said, because the Supreme Court might not rule in the way that NPR wants, now the Supreme Court is the weakest Supreme Court we've ever had. It's such a bad court because they're all conservative now and they just do whatever Trump says. And I'm like, hold on a minute, they have not done whatever Trump says. They got to fight back on Trump a lot. And they pointed that out, and then their argument fell apart. The thing is, with the tariffs, Trump is allowed to do tariffs.
Turn left
And
onto
then one of their
I-84
arguments was
eastbound
because
towards
tariffs are
Fort
bad and
Travis.
ruin the economy. Now, what they said next is what made my ears perk up. They said that Trump is trying to do this as an emergency to help the economy. And almost in the same breath, they said, what kind of an emergency? How can we have an emergency? The economy is better than ever. We have the lowest unemployment rate. The stock market is way up. Gold and silver are at record highs. And so which is it, guys? Is it 30 seconds ago the economy is horrible because of tariffs? Or is it the best economy ever and you can't have tariffs? In the same breath, they contradicted themselves because they cannot hold an argument or a constant thought. They just, Trump bad. That's their whole argument. So which is it? Did the tariffs work and our economy is better than ever? It's stronger than ever. And to be quite honest, our international relationships are better than ever because of tariffs? Or tariffs bad, we can't have any emergencies. Huh? They can't even make any sense. It doesn't even. So NPR just had a literal breakdown because the Supreme Court might rule in favor of tariffs or against tariffs. Whatever they rule, it's going to be bad because it either helps Trump or hurts Trump. They just hate the guy. I can't figure it out. And I'm listening to the radio driving down the road going, what the fuck are you guys doing? They are insane. So it was fun to listen to. I did that for a little while. And they just can't form a cohesive argument because they're just blinded by hate of this man, of everything he does. And the truth is, things are going pretty well. The economy is doing well. There are some things that are not great. Inflation is much better than it was under the last term. International relations are good. It seems like some wars are trying or starting to calm down. I'm not liking this escalation in Venezuela stuff. I wish we could come to some kind of a conclusion in Ukraine and get the hell out of there and stop spending money. But it seems like it's going in a good direction. And anybody who agrees with every single thing that Trump does, that might be a problem. And any person who disagrees with everything Trump does, that might be a problem. You have to kind of realize that there are some good and some bad. I like Trump. I think Trump is a really good president. He's done a lot of things I like. And yes, at the same time, he's done things I don't like. Hey, welcome to New York. I'm just in New York now. So, I mean, you're allowed to like the guy and find some things disagreeable. I mean, my wife sometimes drives me crazy. There are things she does I really don't like. Still love her. I mean, I'm not going to get rid of her. I mean, not this week, but anyway. So NPR, fun. If you, I don't want to subject you to this, but if you're bored, you want to listen to NPR, try to see how long it takes until they either lie about something that actually happened, or they talk something about what Trump did that's bad. I bet you can't make it 5 minutes. You can even listen to a financial news report. They'll find some way to work in Orange Man bad. It's delightful. We should make that into a game just for fun. All right, I took some other notes of stuff I wanted to talk about while I'm driving. Let's see. Supreme Court. Cars. Oh, okay. I watch a lot of car videos. Cars are fun. There's a lot of stuff online about new car sales, how they're not working, how the EV market is crashing, how to negotiate a good car, all the fun car stuff, new car specs, all this fun car stuff. Love car videos. EVs unless the government is giving them $10,000 to take. Most of them are leasing them, and then they turn them in years later and get rid of them, and they probably never get another EV ever again. EVs don't work. EVs don't work for this country because everything is too far spread out. You have to do a lot of driving. And if you live in the city, there's nowhere to park them and charge them overnight. Because most people that live in high rises or apartments, or you can't run an extension cord from your window out into the parking lot to charge up your car. It doesn't work. Okay? EVs don't work in this country very well. You have to be incredibly wealthy. You have to have your own home with a garage. And you have to live kind of near work. On this road trip I'm on today, it's 177 miles in each direction. Okay? You can't do that in an EV. I can't. I need it for. Now, I had this thing loaded down. My car was loaded down with 400 or 500 pounds of equipment. I had to drop it off in the Poconos, get some repair work done, and then pick it up in a couple of weeks. I'm driving, you can see right now I'm driving through the mountains. Driving uphill in the mountains with a loaded vehicle is horrible for EV mileage. Oh, sure, they say you can go 400 miles is the range, but once you load it up, drive through the mountains, or if it's cold, 400 suddenly is 300. Well, now I can't make a round trip to this place and back. So what do I stop for 6 hours and charge? Wait in line at a charging station to do a rapid charger? It just doesn't make any sense. Okay, EVs, I hate them. I mean, if you want to have an EV, that's great. I'm glad they're available on the market so people that want them can buy them. I love free choice, love it. Not for me. EVs are not for me. It's just not going to work. But Dodge Charger came out as an EV model for this year. Oh boy, this might go down as one of the classic blunders of all time. First, Dodge Charger is a quintessential muscle car. It just is. And they tried to turn it into an EV by not offering the muscle car at all anymore. They could have had both. They could have kept the V8 with the Scat Pack and the Hemi supercharger, Red Eye, the whole Demon, the whole everything. They could have kept all that. Could have kept all that. But no, they killed all that. Only EVs, and only two different versions, the GT and the Scat Pack. They're both EVs. Okay? $80,000 for an EV charger. Well, I can tell you they're not selling well. And it's funny because one of the shows I was watching the other day was talking about how this was just one of the worst cars that ever hit the market. Well, first it was plagued with electrical gremlins. Sometimes you get locked out, sometimes you get locked in, sometimes it wouldn't start, sometimes the whole dashboard lit up, sometimes you couldn't put it out of reverse. It just, every problem you could think of, I think this car had. So immediately, the first takers, the people that wanted to get it right away, got just hosed. Just absolutely hosed. Because once you drive it for 30 days, it's not like you can resell it. Because you'll never get your money back. It loses, well, EVs lose more than most. They say you lose 10, 15% the minute you drive it off the lot. With an EV, you probably lose about 40%. So it's brutal. You can't sell it to anyone else. You can't bring it back to the dealership. You can go ahead and leave it in the service shop for repairs and wait and see if they know how to fix it or can create a fix, or they're waiting on parts, or I don't know. But you're going to be without a car for a while. You get a loaner, maybe. Anyway, EV is not good. The Dodge Charger is one of the worst. So, hold on. Look, we're making friends. When you see a cop pulling someone over, you have to move over. I don't know if people know that. People are so dumb sometimes. I also don't teach drivers ed anymore. Maybe we'll get into that in a minute after this car story. So they're not selling. That's my point. They're not selling very well. And there's three in my town that have been sitting on the showroom floor for 400 days. This car has had a birthday on the lot already. So it hasn't moved. It's got no miles on it because they won't let you test drive it because it's the newest, fastest, bestest. $80,000. So they dropped it down to $60,000. They have a $21,000 discount on this car. Still won't move. So the EV government subsidies have expired. So they actually raised the price of the car on the showroom. Because if you go to like Visor or any of those car shopping sites, it'll show you the price history. This car has had 19 different price changes over the year, and it's gone from $89,000 when it was brand new and they thought everyone wanted it, down to $60,000. Now it's around $70,000. They're never going to sell this car. They might as well put it into their loaner fleet, I guess, or sell it at an auction, or just anyone who has a pulse. You want to give me $20 for it, just take it, get it off the lot. This thing has probably got dry rot on the tires by now, or at least flat spots where it's been sitting for a year. You can't let a car sit for a year. How are they even keeping the battery charged up? You have to at least run these things a little bit. Even though it is electric, it still has parts that need lubrication. I don't know. This car's never going to sell. I almost want to go in there and offer them 20 grand to see if they'll take it. But then what do I do with it? I don't want to waste 20 grand on this. It'd be fun though, wouldn't it? But anyway. All right, I just drifted off into a tangent about driver's ed. Now this kind of goes hand in hand with that truck accident that happened in Florida a couple weeks back. The guy Singh, who was an Indian immigrant who got his fake CDL from California and then tried to make a U-turn across a highway and killed 3 people, right? Remember that one? Now CDLs are hard to get. They're supposed to be hard to get. You need to be well trained and kind of smart. You need to be able to think on your feet. You need to be able to make rational decisions to drive an 80,000 pound truck 70 miles an hour. Okay, you need to have some mush between your ears. Okay, and the problem is, I had a little argument with on Twitter with some knucklehead. It was about this video of a girl trying to parallel park, and she took about 37 tries to parallel park and then just gave up. And it's funny because most cars will parallel park themselves these days, so I don't know how she messed this up so badly, but it is what it is. And I don't think they teach kids how to parallel park anymore. Well, they certainly don't teach them how to back into a parking space, because I'm watching people, like you go to the store and you watch people back into the parking spot and their head is down and they're looking at a tiny screen in the center of their dashboard instead of looking out the window. Now, backup cameras are helpful. Okay, I personally, I don't like them, but that's all right. But you can't see what's on the side of your car. You can't see if there's something under your tires. You can't see how close you are to the curb, really, on the sides. You can't see a full 360. There are some cars that do have a 360 view, but it's still a camera. It still has flaws. You could also just turn over your shoulder. Look behind you. You can just look. Most cars have windows, right? Yeah, okay, anyway. So they don't teach any of these skills. And you can tell because drivers drive very poorly. Now, just a few minutes ago, I just passed a cop who pulled someone over. You have to get out of the way. If there's any room at all, you have to move over. Technically, if you don't, that's another ticket for you. Cops sometimes work in pairs, and if you don't move over, they can pull you over. You need to pull over. It's just a courtesy, and it's legal. You have to. I don't think they even teach that anymore because no one does. So that's something that kind of always bugged me. Now, my son got his driver's license, 7 years ago. And when I was teaching him how to drive, we took my old truck because, one, it's a manual. He learned to drive on a manual transmission because all men should at least know how to drive a manual and ride a motorcycle. So he's qualified in both. But what we did is we went into a big parking lot and, I said, pull into that spot. Okay. Now back into that spot. Okay. I said, now pull into this spot here and I want you to back out into the parking lot, go up 3 rows and then back into that spot over there. So we made like kind of a zigzag
65
shape.
miles per hour.
And when he got that right, he could literally learn to do anything else because he knows the dynamics of how a car works. He knows how the front end swing when you're backing up and turning. You got to watch the front end because you don't want to hit the car next to you in the parking spot. All these things they don't teach anymore. And you see these YouTube videos of bad parking, and you see people hit cars all the time because they back out, turn the wheel as hard as they can, and the front end of their car hits the other car. They don't even look because they're staring down at their screen, but backup camera says, look here, I have to look here, and I'm going backwards, I must look at backup camera, instead of looking all around and getting an idea of where you are in the car. They don't teach that anymore. Parallel parking, I know they don't teach that anymore. But my son can parallel park, yeah, well, no problem. And he knows how to read signs, he knows how to merge into traffic, he knows how to drive, all the skills that used to be taught, but they don't anymore. And I remember when we went to the DMV to get his license. Now, a learner permit you can do online, no big deal. Anyone can get a learner's permit. But to get the actual driver's license when you're 16, you need to bring your own car. You need to get a DMV inspector to do a ride along, and you go out. Now, when I did my driver's license test, I was driving a 1974 Volkswagen Bug, and we had to drive out through a neighborhood, and then on a highway, and then do a roundabout, and then parallel park, and then go back. It was about 15-20 minutes. We were out driving, and he had me do all kinds of things, merging and stops and yields and train tracks and everything, just to see what I would do. Passed, no problem, it was good. My dad was a very good teacher to taught me how to drive. So I did the same thing with my son. And when he went to the DMV to get his license, I was sitting there. He got the inspector in the car and put on his seatbelt. I didn't go with him. I was sitting on the curb just waiting for him to come back. And he drives out, and he puts on his turn signal, and he goes out onto the road, and he comes back. And I went, oh my God, what happened? Did you fail? He goes, no, it's fine. I go, we were only gone like a minute. He goes, yeah, I went up the street and made a U-turn and came back. I go, pardon me? He goes, yeah. He goes, he just wanted to see if I could, drive straight and maintain a lane, and that's it? That's all you got to do? Yeah, that's about it. And now he's a driver. So anyone who just, I don't know if you can see that or not, I'm right next to a glider airport where there's a small plane towing a glider up in the air. It's neat. Anyway, so the drivers now, if you can maintain your lane and get back to a parking spot with the inspector, that's good enough. It's good enough, I guess. Now in Connecticut, it's kind of weird. I currently live in Connecticut, not much longer. In Connecticut, you look around and there's a lot of people not from around here who have questionable driving skills. Some don't have licenses, most don't have insurance. Very few understand what stoplights mean. On any given day, I could be sitting at a red light waiting for it to turn green, and someone will go into the opposing lane of traffic to cut in front of 2 lanes and make a right turn because they just didn't want to wait anymore. I mean, that's the kind of stuff you see in India and Pakistan and maybe some parts of China, I don't know. But yeah, and the cops don't do anything. There's too many of them. They outnumber them now. So you can't pull over minor offenses, so the minor offenses get ignored. So these people think the minor offenses are completely fine. Like, oh, look, I did this right in front of a cop. He didn't even care, so I can do this now? Yeah, okay, no problem. So that's what we got. Anyway, that's where we're at. So I'm enjoying a nice leisurely drive through New York. So hopefully I'll get out of New York soon. I don't like driving in New York. The cops are very, very aggressive. Speed limit is 65 here. I'm doing 66, merging nice in traffic. But my car is not flashy. It doesn't raise a lot of suspicion. It's big, boxy, and gray. And back to the EVs. The reason why I won't buy an EV, I won't buy a regular car either. I won't buy any new cars. I'm going to keep this one. See, I haven't had a car payment since 2010. I bought this car in cash at the time. And the car before that, I didn't have a car payment on either because it was paid off. I probably haven't had a car payment since 2005. That's a good feeling. You see these people online talking about, oh, it's so hard to get ahead. My car bills are $1,000 a month, and I don't know what to do, and it's so expensive. Rent is $2,000, and my car payment's $750. Insurance is $300-400 a month. What do I do? Now you buy a piece of junk car and you drive it till the wheels fall off. Now I will drive this until the wheels fall off. Then I will get new wheels. because I like this car. It's perfectly good for me because, one, it's square, perfect. It's plenty fast enough, manual transmission, and I can fit a 4x8 sheet of drywall inside the vehicle. It's only 2 rows, not 3 rows of seating, and it's been paid off for a long time. Why on earth would I buy a new car? My insurance for this, part of it is because it's old, part of it is because I'm old, and part of it is because I have an impeccable driving record. My insurance is $78 a month for full coverage, including glass and everything, full coverage. Now, I do drive very few miles per year, that helps. And I've got a great credit score. And you're thinking, wait, who gives a crap about your credit score? Does it affect your insurance? Yeah, it does. Yeah, it really does. A lot of people don't know this. I'll tangent off this for a couple seconds. If you have a 500 credit score, it implies you make bad decisions. Seriously, make bad financial decisions. You're not good at making choices. So the insurance company says, hey, this guy isn't good at making choices. He's probably not good at making choices. So your insurance goes up. Now my credit score is well into the 800s. That's why my insurance is so low. And you get all kinds of other benefits from having a great credit score. I might do a video on this later, but one of my investment properties that I have, I had to do some work in the basement, and it needed roughly $25,000 worth of work. It had some water damage. Excuse me. And the guy tells me, he says, hey, it's this amount of money. I'm like, oh, Jesus. He says, well, we have some financing options. He says, we have a 18-month, zero money down, 0% interest if you pay it off in 18 months. I looked at him and I go, if I pay this off anytime within 18 months, you're going to let me borrow that money for free? He goes, well, if your credit score is good enough. So I played stupid. I go, what's good enough? And I go, I'm not sure. He says, well, what's your credit? I go, I haven't checked in a long time. I think it's okay. And I'm just goofing with him. I know exactly what my credit score is. So he says, well, let's run a credit app and let's find out. I said, okay. He says, how much you want to borrow? I go, well, you quoted me about 25. I go, listen, I know how construction works. It's probably going to be about 30 with things you find along the way. He goes, maybe. I go, let's run a credit app for 30,000, see what happens. He goes, okay. So he runs a credit app. I fill out my information, blah, blah, blah. He comes back. He goes, oh, come on. I go, what do you mean? He goes, he shows me the paper, and not the paper, his laptop. He had a little tablet. He shows me the little thing, and he pinches out and shows me the number. 830. He says, your credit score is 830. I go, yeah, is that good? And he's going, stop it. And he goes, you're goofing with me, right? I go, yeah. That's how I knew my credit score was okay. He goes, yeah. He goes, you want to borrow 100? He goes, you want to get another house? He goes, I can give you anything you want. He goes, I can let you. And this is what you get when you have a good credit score. Truck in front of me is supposed to go. See, that's another thing. Truck in front of me just put on his blinkers. There's a slow car up here. I'm in the way. He put on his blinker first. So I slow down, let him have room. He flashed the high beams a couple of times, let him know it's okay. It's a courtesy. He moved over, traffic didn't have to slow down. He gets what he wants. I have to slow down a little bit, no big deal. Traffic courtesy, real simple. But back to this credit thing. So the guy's like, yeah, your credit's fine. You get whatever you want. And the thing is, I didn't do anything special to get a high credit score. Nothing. Now, the online credit gurus, which I am not, the people online telling you how to fix your credit score and you can, fight all your charges and declare they're fraudulent and make them, you go to your credit report and you dispute every one of your charges and some of them will go away. No, they won't. I mean, they might go away for 30 days, then they find the paperwork and then they go back on. You can't make a repo go away. You can't make a default credit card go away. It just falls off after 5 or 7 years. But the thing is, how I got my credit card score so high was I don't use credit cards. I just don't. I have 2 credit cards, and one of them I hadn't used for like 5 years. It has a $10,000 balance, and I never use it. So I used it once, and then I paid it off. Then my other credit card, I think, has a $9,000 balance or something. It's not much. It's no big deal. And I used it the other day, and I paid it off. So I use my credit cards once or twice a year and pay them off. That's it. That's all you do. You don't do anything else. And it doesn't matter if you pay late on your electric bill. It doesn't matter about your water bill. Those aren't reported on your credit score. It doesn't matter. I mean, cable, maybe. I don't know. I don't pay my bills late. I don't know. But as long as you take care of your credit cards, that's it. That's all you have to do. Pay them off. Don't use them very much. Pay them off. Your credit score will rocket up. It's easy. It's super easy. That's all you have to do. And there's no secrets. There's no magic handshake. There's no secret code. There's no nothing. Don't use them much. Pay them off. That's it. And you'll be shocked at how many doors open up for you. You'll suddenly start getting opportunities like, oh, you want to get a house? The next time you go for an apartment, how's your credit score? That's 780. Oh, great. Here you go. Here's the keys. Thank you. What, no background check? No, you're fine. You got a great credit score. You're good. Your car insurance goes down. Your credit card rates go down. I've got a regular credit card. 16% is my rate. It's just funny because I think I get 3% cash back on that. And I haven't paid interest on that card ever. Oh no, I used it for a $200 purchase. You get home, you send them a $200 payment. Pay it off. You get your 3% back. They don't get any interest. You pay it off within the 30 days. That's it. That's the whole secret. That's the whole secret. I just ruined the entire credit card industry. Don't spend a lot, pay it off. Ta-da! Anyway. Well, it's getting kind of hot in here, and I turned the air conditioner off because it's loud for their voice recording, and now that it's getting a little hot, it's 73 degrees out here, and I'm driving windows up with no air conditioning, so I think I'm going to just wrap it up. But it's been a long time since I've been on here, and I just wanted to chit-chat for a little while, so I'm just doing that. I see there's a couple of comments in there. I am so sorry. I wish I could reply, but I'm driving at 70 miles an hour, and the phone's on the other side of the window, and I will check in with my comments later. But I do appreciate everyone watching and hearing my silly rambles while I'm driving down the road. I'll be back in the studio again soon, making some regular produced videos. We'll see how that goes. But anyway, so for now, I'm going to finish drinking my coffee and just cruise on down the road. I should be home around 1 o'clock or so. Anyway, I think that's all for today. Thanks, guys, everybody who's watching and who tuned in to hear me ramble about silliness on the road. So I'll see you again soon.